MAGA right now. They're absolutely panicking over what California Governor Gavin Newsom is doing with Prop 50, the proposition that will leave it up to the people of California to decide whether or not California should redraw their voting maps to counter what Trump and far-right Republican extremists are doing in Texas, for example, where they're essentially gerrymandering and cheating to rig the midterm elections for Trump. Well, Governor Newsom of California put it up to a special election, and the people of California are overwhelmingly in support of this. It should pass in a landslide, yet you see desperate attempts right now from MAGA influencers and fake celebrities on Twitter doing everything they can to try and convince you that Prop 50 is a bad idea. They're afraid. They know Trump's plan to steal elections is backfiring, and they know that if we had real democracy in this country, Donald Trump would lose every single election moving forward. No matter how hard they try to convince you, their policies really aren't popular.
Breaking news, as Trump and other world leaders have just signed the Gaza ceasefire deal, putting an end to the 2-year war there, and all of the living hostages have now been returned. The bombing has stopped by Israel, and humanitarian aid is flowing in. Desperately needed humanitarian aid. President Trump is taking much of the credit for this deal, but he is calling it a lasting peace. But it's not really a peace deal. He keeps calling this a peace deal, but a full comprehensive peace deal has not been agreed to yet by both parties. This is just a ceasefire deal. Now, while that does bring peace for the time, it's not a full long-term comprehensive peace deal like he's painting it out to be. What is not agreed upon is who is going to govern Gaza? Will Hamas be demilitarized? And who is going to do the rebuilding? Who is going to pay for the rebuilding? And what security guarantees will be given to Hamas and the people of Palestine? So guys, we are a long ways away from a comprehensive peace deal that will be long lasting. So when Trump says that, just take it with a grain of salt. And he even called for Bibi Netanyahu to be pardoned for his serious war crimes that have been committed. Let me know what you guys think about all this. Comment, like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
Normally, I would say that there are certain positions, like that of the vice president, that deserve a certain amount of respect. But when it comes to members of the Trump regime, we all should be a little bit more like George. Take it away, George. Show us how it's done. George.
Do you think Governor Pritzker has committed a crime?
Well, I think Governor Pritzker has certainly failed to keep the people of Illinois safe.
I asked if you agree with President Trump that Governor Pritzker has committed a crime.
Well, I think that Governor Pritzker has allowed a lot of people to be killed in the city of Chicago and elsewhere, George.
It's really a yes or no question. Do you believe he's committed a crime?
George, you're going to keep on asking this question.
The White House border czar Tom Homan was recorded on an FBI surveillance tape in September 2024, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money or give it back?
Tom Homan did not take a bribe.
I'm not sure you answered the question. Are you saying that he did not accept the $50,000?
He did not take a bribe.
I'm asking you, did he accept the $50,000?
George, I don't know what you're talking about. Did he accept $50,000 for what? Accepting $50,000 for doing what, George? Did he accept $50,000? Honestly, George, I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know what tape you're referring to, George. I don't even know the video that you're talking about. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong.
Well, I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next. We'll be right back.
Just cuts him off. It just cuts him off like he deserves. Thank you, G. Stephanopoulos.
Wait, did you say G. Stephanopoulos? Was he wearing a stunning blue suit and a power tie?
No, pretty much just a towel.
Oh, God. Oh, he's so cute. Oh, George, baby, drop the towel. Yeah, come on, drop the towel. You can do it. Drop the towel.
All right, we're not just pieces of meat.
Quick question for those of you that were like, I gotta sit at home. I cannot vote for either of these presidential candidates. Or you were one of those people that was like, Jill Stein all the way, even though I know statistically and historically third-party candidates can't win, but I still want to exercise my voice. I just want to ask, are you feeling good about that choice now? Because this morning, President Donald Trump called for a pardoning of war criminal Netanyahu, who is wanted by the ICC. Who absolutely is going to, after this hostage exchange, ramp things back up. Because if the war stops, he gets held accountable and will have to go on trial and will likely be convicted and have to go to jail. And if none of that happens, there's legislation that proves that Donald Trump would be willing to harbor him here in the United States. So anyway, I do want to know if you are someone who didn't vote at all or voted for third party. Are you feeling good about that today? Okay.
Good morning, guys. Happy Monday. Anybody else is a little bit on the confused side this morning? Why is it a man that has spent his entire political career preaching hate, preaching division, preaching violence, then he turns around when he gets back in the office a second time, he comes out and says how he's going to release the military on the United States citizens. And then he comes out and says he wants the military to use cities in America as training grounds for the military. So this man has turned his military on his own citizens, which means he's declared war on his own citizens. He wants the states in this country to be used as training grounds for the military. He blew up 2 boats in Venezuela, had no idea who was on them. This individual is now pissing a fit because he did not win the Nobel Peace Prize. Not only is he pissed, but so is his demonic followers are pissed. The man that has no use for peace, no use for uniting people together, no use for diversity. He thinks he should be getting the Nobel Peace Prize. He's been responsible for the death of more people in this country than any other president who's not at war. This man has caused people to lose their lives from cuts that he's initiated from the day he got in here. They don't even talk about the people that lost their lives in that plane crash right after they cut the FCC budget and cut down their employees, and the planes just start dropping out the sky like flapjacks. But they don't want to talk about that. They don't want to talk about the people that died in that flood that he didn't send anybody out to go look for, search for. They don't want to talk about that. But you want to sit up and talk about why you didn't get the Peace Prize? This is the same man that's unleashed ICE on the entire United States, where they have horrifically attacked people, kidnapped people, and some of those people have come up missing. A lot of those people have come up missing. And this sick individual thinks he deserves, because he's initiated all of this, he thinks he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. This is the country we're living in. This is the world we're living in. We're being ran by a white president with an all-white administration. And we see when you put a white man in charge and an all-white administration at his hands, you see what you get. This is the state of the country. This is their work. White people are in control of this country right now. Say what you will, but they are. And this is where we are. Yet they swore up and down when a black man took over as president of this country that he would ruin this country would go to hell in a handbasket. Well, it not only survived Obama, but it thrived under Obama. So much so, Obama got the Nobel Peace Prize. And that's the thing that's stuck in his craw, that Obama has a Nobel Peace Prize and he doesn't. That's the main motivation. How dare a black man get something a rich white man can't? That's all that's about, baby. That's all that's about. He want to be Obama so bad till he can't see straight. That man covets everything Obama has, including a loving, supportive, affectionate wife. While his wife look like she finna go run and take a shower every time she has to brush up against him. You've never seen Melania look at Trump the way Michelle looks at Obama, and you never will. He knows all of that. He's suffering through all of that, and it makes him a very bitter, a very angry, small person. So if he can't get it that way, he's going to try to get it the only way he knows how, which is bullying and threatening, when all Obama had to do was exist. It's really a sickening, sad day when you see somebody so twisted, so demented, so sick, so unstable, and you say that is the leader of your country. And y'all did it. Y'all put him in there. You should be walking around with your chest stuck out. But one thing about it that you would never be able to live down, this is this country up under him and an all-white administration. This is white people at their best. He said he only gets the best. Isn't that what he said? He only hires the best. This is the best at work. Your groceries are going up. Your gas is going up. People in, what was it? Oklahoma? Some state. They out there freaking out because their light bill done went up by 3 times what it normally is. And they wondering what's going on with their light bill. What you didn't know was Trump cut out the subsidies that was helping you keep your light bill, that was help paying your light bill. You voted for that. Just like you voted for your Medicaid cuts that's finna come through, Medicare cuts, Social Security cuts, veterans benefits, SNAP, WIC, all that. You voted for it. And he's going to make sure you get it. And all this destruction, all this devastation, all this just destruction of people's lives, he believes deserves a Nobel Peace Prize. Because in his sick, twisted mind, he stopped 8 wars. Yeah, it went up to 8. One time I heard him say he stopped 10. Yeah, he's going to fix reality to make him look like something he can never be. And he uses that as a basis as to why he thinks he deserves all these accolades. Yet, meanwhile, he's doing everything he can to keep them Epstein files from coming out. Release them Epstein files. Yeah, they need to go ahead and do that. The truth comes out eventually, though. But anyway, I just wanted to pop in and tell y'all about y'all failed president and his hurt feelings because he didn't win the Nobel Peace Prize, because he honestly did not deserve it. He hadn't earned it, and he has no idea of what peace stands for. And he has no desire for peace. So why would you want something that has peace in it? Y'all keep on. But I just want you to know, you are never going to live down that this country was brought to its knees by the white race. It is what it is. Take it or leave it. And before I get out of here, I just got one question to ask. Is it great again yet? Just asking for a couple of friends.
So that comment is on a video that I just posted a few minutes ago, saying that Donald Trump's election in 2016 was a complete failure of imagination, and that his re-election in 2024, with 77 million Americans voting for him, knowing that he was a convicted felon, that he's an adjudicated rapist, that he has a decade's worth of fraud under his belt, that his company, the Trump Organization, was convicted of 17 fraud-related felonies at the end of 2022, that he engaged in an insurrection against the United States Capitol and Congress on January 6th of 2021, that he engaged in 7 or 8 different conspiracies, criminal conspiracies, to try to overturn the results of the 2020 election, knowing that he was indicted 91 times in 4 separate jurisdictions. One of those indictments resulting in 34 felony convictions for paying off 2 women that he had sex with while he was married to Melania Trump, one while she was pregnant with Barron, for trying to improperly influence the 2016 election. And within those other indictments that he got, that included 38 indictments for felony violations of the Espionage Act for his theft of classified documents to his golf club at Mar-a-Lago and Bedminster so that he could impress his country club members by showing them classified documentation that they didn't have the clearance to see. That he and his 2 sons had stolen so much money from their own charity to benefit children with cancer that his 2 sons and his daughter are banned for life from ever being involved in a foundation ever again. And on and on and on and on and on. The people who voted for Donald Trump in 2024 knew all of those things. They also knew that he was morbidly obese and a corpulent protuberance of a human being. They also knew that he cheats at golf. They also knew that his best friend for 15 years was the most prolific pedophile in American history, Jeffrey Epstein. That was his best friend for 15 years. 77 million Americans voted for all of that on Election Day in 2024 because they are selfish, because they are racist, because they were misogynistic, because they are fucking dumb as a bag of hair, they're gullible, they're cruel, they are loud and stupid, they are easily manipulated, and they are so incredibly easily separated from their own money. Donald Trump's first election was a failure of imagination. Donald Trump's first imagination was a symptom of the actual problem in the United States of America. The fact that a vast majority of the American electorate are complete fucking morons who are selfish and stupid and gullible. Donald Trump's re-election in 2024, where the electorate knew all of those things, was Donald Trump's recognition of that initial problem of how dumb and gullible and easily manipulated the electorate is, and they're stupid and racist and they hate women and gay people and trans people. And Donald Trump cultivated that hatred throughout the campaign of 2024. Donald Trump was never in the lead in polls during the 2016 election. Donald Trump was never not in the lead in the 2024 presidential election campaign. A huge part of that was Joe Biden, but a huge part of that is the fact that we are a nation of complete fucking morons. Racist morons who hate women and immigrants and the LGBTQ community and trans people and the disabled. But sure, Kamala was a terrible candidate. I disagreed with like 2 or 3 things that her campaign did. When she went on The View and was asked, what would you do differently than what Joe Biden has done? And she said nothing. That was an objectively stupid answer, given the political environment. But you can read her book and find out why she gave that answer, I guess. When Donald Trump spent $100 million or $150 million broadcasting his anti-trans TV ad nationwide during college football games, and Kamala's campaign decided not to respond to that ad at all. That was a dumb fucking decision. And when she decided to spend the last, 2 weeks of her campaign barnstorming America with Liz Cheney, I thought that was stupid. But she packed arenas nationwide. She packed arenas nationwide with enthusiastic Democratic voters. And I can't stand Democrats. I've been a registered independent for 25 years. I can't fucking stand the Democratic Party. I can stand them more than I can stand the Republican Party, the party of authoritarianism, fascism, racism, sexism, bigotry, hatred, homophobia, transphobia, and ableism. At least Democrats will let you fuck who you want to fuck and marry who you want to marry. They're still not going to raise the minimum wage. They're still not going to give you single-payer health care. But they'll at least let you marry who you want to marry without giving you shit about it. I mean, they're still not putting out news stories saying that teachers have litter boxes in their classrooms for their students who are furries, so that their students who are furries can walk up to the front of the classroom and take a shit in a litter box in front of all their classmates. Republicans believe that. Republicans believe that elementary school teachers are performing sex change operations on 8-year-olds, so that in the morning you drop off your son. At the end of the day, you pick up your daughter. That's how fucking dumb these people are. And Donald Trump has figured out how to take advantage of his supporters' unimaginable stupidity, gullibility, and the fact that they're so incredibly easily manipulated. Such as yourself. The people who say that Kamala Harris was a terrible candidate, if they actually watched the debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump and still think that she was a terrible candidate, it's because they are racists who hate women. There's no other reason. She absolutely destroyed Donald Trump in that debate. And anybody who thinks otherwise is someone who is fucking racist as fuck, who hates women. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. And you voted for that. I keep saying 5 years from now, we're not going to be able to find a single person in the United States who is going to willingly and openly admit that they supported Donald Trump in 2024. And that's why I think that we should be able to permanently, physically mark them like Aldo Raines did at the end of Inglourious Bastards in the woods with the German soldier played by Christopher Waltz.